I want to talk about trains, semis, cars, vans, transportation, and utility. One interesting thing is, say, 100 semis versus 100 train cars. You have the cost of the tracks, which may be more, and the train, which be slightly less than the semi. Basically, only one engine, bunch of cars. The semis, you need an engine for each car, but you also have a very expensive driver that you got to pay, and you need 100 of those versus one or two drivers of a train. But what happens when the trucks drive themselves and you don't need that expensive operator and don't need the tracks? I think self-driving semis could be cheaper than rail in the future. I would like someone to look into these numbers. But another interesting thing is like buses that transport kids. Each kid has to ride for an hour on a bus instead of going directly to school. But if a bunch of parents have self-driving cars, then maybe at least half of them could ride the self-driving car to school. The car could go back, do its job for the parents, and then buses would only have to be half the size and travel half the distance, and kids don't have to wait half the time. So basically what I'm saying is I think transportation of goods and services start to utilize smaller modes of transportation. Think of a semi with 50 pallets that drives to a Walmart. You only need one driver. And to make 50 trips, that person gets pretty expensive. But if all the vehicles are self-driving, it might actually make more sense to have vehicles that, say, have only 10 pallets. There's probably some optimization of not just maximizing the load, because the most expensive thing is no longer the human. And if you had semis, kind of like FedEx will do half semis because they're faster to load and unload than full ones when you're not so worried about the capital cost of the vehicle itself. And maybe, or I should say, the vehicle being on the road, maximizing its hours in transportation is more valuable than having a large one that spends a lot of time at docks. Same with buses. Think about riding the bus at the airport to the car rental place. I mean, this one just goes away because the cars just drive themselves and you don't have to ride the bus. They just come pick you up and leave. Except for maybe, I don't really see a situation where you wouldn't, because it makes loading and unloading faster, which means more cars can go through the station. Think of like a baseball game unloading a tour bus. It may take 10 minutes. And it's a lot smaller than 50 cars or whatever, but the cars can unload faster and then get out of the way faster. So I just think transportation becomes a lot less. And there'll still be, maybe carpooling from where you park your car into a autonomous car to the place. No more paid for parking. You just have the car drive you to where you need to go. Or whatever vehicle it is. It could be a scooter. Well, whatever transportation you have. Not a scooter, but some kind of smaller single-seater four-wheeled vehicle. And I really think transportation will go this way.